Well, good morning. It is Tuesday. This is Chat with CHAP, and I am your host, Ginger Wade. I'm so glad to have you with me today. Today, I'm just going to talk a little bit about CHAP because I know there's lots of new homeschoolers and even seasoned homeschoolers out there who do not know about CHAP and what we do. So I'm just going to share a little bit about us today, but first, our homeschool tip of the day is to make you aware that we have all law information out there for you at chaponline.com. So if you want to read the law for yourself, and I highly suggest you do, go to chaponline.com and check out the homeschool law tab, the homeschooling in PA. You can go, it'll take you to homeschoolpennsylvania.org, and it'll give you all the little tiny bits that you can read and know the law for yourself. So that's my tip of the day. Read the law and know it. It's good stuff. So let's start with the topic of the day, introducing CHAP. So if I were in a room of live people, I would say, does anyone know what CHAP stands for? Y'all can post it below if you want to, but CHAP stands for the Christian Homeschool Association of Pennsylvania. I've seen some other words put in there for us, which is kind of comical, but we are the Christian Homeschool Association of Pennsylvania. That is what CHAP stands for. So what is the purpose of CHAP? Well, our purpose statement is to train children to follow Christ in all of life. You hear me say that at the end of my videos, and that's just a reminder of why it is we're doing what we're doing, is to raise the next generation up, right? To follow Christ in all of life. What is the mission of CHAP? Our mission is to equip, connect, encourage, and protect homeschool families, not only in the state of Pennsylvania, though that is our main focus, but we also support families in the states around us. I don't know if you know that, but many folks check out our resources from other states. They've come to our convention from faraway states, even as far away as Texas, but we get lots of folks from Ohio, New York, Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey, Virginia. All the states around us have come to our convention. So we're not only supporting Pennsylvanians, we're supporting folks in other states too, which is an awesome blessing. So that is our mission, to equip, protect, encourage, and connect all of you. Where is CHAP? Where do we physically exist? Well, actually, we do not have a physical office. We do have a mailing address in Marysville, which you can see at chaponline.com. But we don't have a physical office. We are actually volunteers from around the state. So I personally am in central Pennsylvania, but we have folks who have volunteered from Pittsburgh, from northeastern Pennsylvania, from southeastern Pennsylvania, central Pennsylvania, of course, but we are kind of spread all over the place, volunteering to help support the homeschoolers in our wonderful state. So our goal is to support home educators and their families. So what we're trying to do is to encourage you along your way, give you the resources and information you need to be able to homeschool according to the law, but with the freedom and knowledge that you need to do what God has called you to do with your children and educating them at home. So when is it that CHAP does things? So there has been this, I don't know if it's a myth, I don't know what you would call it, but this thought that CHAP is a convention. When I started going to convention, we actually called the convention CHAP. Oh, let's go to CHAP. So many people say that. Let's go to CHAP. And that gave the connotation that the only thing CHAP did was this big convention that happened every year. And the convention was wonderful. It was very supportive. So many people have been encouraged by the convention, by speaking to others there, by listening to speakers, by seeing curriculum, and it is by no means a small thing, but CHAP actually is more than a convention, which is one of the things that we started sharing when I got onto the board. Hey, CHAP is more than a convention. So when it was CHAP, people would have said, oh, it's usually in May. That's when it used to be, and it's going back to that weekend this year, May 12th and 13th. But CHAP is actually all year long, which is why you see on our web page, if you go to chaponline.com, you will see serving homeschool families all year long, because we want you to know, we want homeschool families to know, and anyone to know, that CHAP is here to support you and encourage you and point you to the resources you need all year long. It's not just in May at the convention. It is all year long that we are here for you. So we support through various resources that we have. If you've been out to chaponline.com, that's out there. It has our subscribe to e-news there. You can donate there, but also has links to the law. It has our mentor listing. It has our support group listing. It has our tester listing, our evaluator listing, and the opportunity to be listed on those lists if you so choose. There's links to our resource guides, our quick start guide, all sorts of things like that. There's tons of resources at chaponline.com. There's also homeschoolpennsylvania.org, which is where we have all the law. So if you click on the law link there that I told you about, it will take you to homeschoolpennsylvania.org, and that's a huge database of all the information from the law. It's got the law itself, and then it has videos and stuff that talk about the different portions of the law so you can understand it better. So that's out there for you. That's a great resource. We do social media. We are on Instagram. Homeschool PA is what we are there. And then, of course, here, you know us because you're here. So we're Christian Homeschool PA on Facebook. So, and then we're also building our YouTube channel. We do have a YouTube channel. Probably the easiest way to find us on YouTube maybe is searching for Chatting with CHAP. And that's with the CHATTIN apostrophe. You can find our podcast that way too. We're actually out on podcasts too, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, wherever it is that you find your podcast. If you search for Chatting with Chap, we are out there too. So you can find these episodes that I share with you are out in podcast form also. So we are supporting people on all different types of media and platforms. We also do an email weekly newsletter that currently is our e-news person has been putting in these really great links to different homeschool articles. We didn't used to do that. It's something new. Things that we check out and think, oh, you might find these things interesting. It's just like homeschooling in the news across the nation. But it also has, the e-news also has information on events that are happening or important things regarding the law. If action items, if you need to be made aware of something that's happening in Harrisburg, we do that stuff all through the e-news. Also, if you want to be a vendor or speaker, we've been getting a lot of vendor and speaker requests, so that's really good news. And we always point folks to that so you know what's going on with conventions. So you can sign up for e-news out on chaponline.com. Also, we have held seminars in the past. We've held leadership, like for support group leaders, leadership skill building seminars. We've had a learning differences conferences. We've been planning marriage retreats, going out and just speaking at groups, at small groups, that's church, support groups and co-ops who want someone to come out and explain the law or talk about anything homeschool related. We have done that in the past too. And so those are other ways that we support the homeschooling community. And by the way, if you are looking for someone to come and share with your support group, let us know. We have folks in all the different areas that are connected to our convention team who are interested in going out and sharing information about homeschooling in your community. If you want to have something for your co-op, either an explanation of the law or just talking about homeschooling, or kind of like an outreach to your community, explaining with them what homeschooling is and what it looks like, we are here to support you in that. So let us know if you want support with that. If you are comfortable sharing that kind of information, tell others about homeschooling. You know, you can be a penchant for homeschooling there and tell people about it. So these are the things that CHAP is doing. How else do we support homeschoolers? Well, here's a big one. We read all the bills that go through Harrisburg. There's a lot of bills that go through Harrisburg. It's like hundreds a year. And we have our faithful servant Brad, who goes through and reads those bills and lets us know if he thinks it will have an impact in the homeschooling community, if he thinks it's something that we need to alert you to so that you are well prepared to call down to Harrisburg and say, hey, I don't support this. Hey, I do support this. So he reads through everything so we can move as a community when certain bills come up in our legislature. So we encourage support of issues relating to parental rights. You saw recently there was a hearing for 996. We let you guys know about that if you wanted to go down to that hearing or message our folks down in Harrisburg to let them know how you feel about things. So we are also making you aware of those opportunities so that we are supporting our rights as parents. Also, the CHAP has like a sister organization called the CHAP Foundation. And the CHAP Foundation is the organization that awards our scholarships every year. So we do award 2 scholarships to graduating homeschool seniors. And it's called the Legion Sadovich Memorial Scholarship. So if you haven't heard about it, go check it out on chaponline.com. If you know someone who's graduating this year and is a traditional homeschooler, they're going to want to check that out. So we award scholarships to 2 graduating seniors, and then also the foundation awards grants to folks who are in need. So if you've had tons of medical issues or flooding or a fire or anything that has caused you, you lost your job and you need help or support being able to continue homeschooling, we're there to support you in that way too. We have the CHAP Foundation offers grants to those who are in need, and you can apply for those also on chaponline.com. So these are ways that we as an organization are supporting you guys out there who are doing the homeschool journey. We want to encourage you to keep on keeping on. We want to encourage you to encourage others to join the homeschool community, to do the homeschool journey. It is an amazing thing. And so we are here to give you resources and to support you in that way. So who is it that supports CHAP? Like, how is it that CHAP functions or exists? Well, we're all volunteer. It's all volunteer. There's a board. Right now, there's 3 couples on the board, and we serve as couples. So husband and wife couples serve on the board. And we can have up to 8 couples on our board, or right now we have 3. So that's where we're at with the board. And then we also have volunteers. We have the communications and social media volunteers and our digital magazine. We also have lots of volunteers that help with the convention. And these are year-round positions. These are folks who are volunteering their time very faithfully year-round to support you and to encourage others to homeschool in the state of Pennsylvania and the states around us, right? So we also, the folks who also donate to us are obviously encouraging us, helping us to encourage you by helping us to continue on in that way. So that's who supports CHAP. That is how we keep on keeping on. So we do invite you to join in with us to continue supporting homeschoolers in the state of Pennsylvania, whether it be financially or through your gift of time or prayer. Any way that you would like to reach out and support homeschoolers is wonderful. I've been talking a lot recently about mentoring and just walking along those people. If you are comfortable, or maybe even if you're not, maybe it's time to be stretched, talking to people around you who just need that encouragement to continue on or need that encouragement to jump into homeschooling. Consider being a mentor. We are signing up mentors on our list. You can check it out at chaponline.com. We would love to add you to our mentoring network. Why do we do this thing? Why does CHAP exist? Why do we continue to work day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year? We've been around for a long time. Did you know that? So the organization didn't start as CHAP. It started as Lucia, which was a Lancaster-based group, and it morphed into CHAP. But the original organization that started as a baby actually started in 1986. And what's really cool about that is Pennsylvania didn't have a homeschool law until 1988. So we as an organization existed 2 years before it was even legal to homeschool in the state of Pennsylvania. So that is a really cool, long, rich history. There's a whole bunch to it. We've been doing conventions for pretty much the whole time. So that's really awesome too. So why do this? Why continue to do this year after year? Well, the main reason is because the world needs Jesus, right? That's the purpose of, what we're doing is to share Christ with the world. Secondly, is because we know that the best way to train our children to follow Christ in all of life, which is our purpose, is to have them home with us, learning from and with us as we all look to Christ for guidance and purpose. That is this is the best way. Homeschooling is the best way to train your children up to follow Christ in all of life. And because we have a heart to help you to do the same. So we have the heart for this for our own families, but we have the heart to help you guys continue your homeschooling journeys so you can raise your children to follow Christ in all of life. And there's no better way to do it. There are other ways to educate, I know, and there's other options that are pretty good, pretty solid. Christian school, whatever. I don't know, government school, kind of on fire these days. Don't know that I would encourage people to have their children there, but homeschooling is the way to have your children close, know what they're being trained in, build those relationships for a lifetime that are going to be amazing, and they glorify God. God designed us to be in relationship. That's how he made us. That's how read Genesis 1. It was all about relationship, right? So, this is the best way to do it when you're with them all the time. If you listen to one of my recent episodes, I talked about being a master at something takes over 10,000 hours. Well, if your children children are away from you for school, that's in their lives, their formative years, that's over 10,000 hours. So you will be giving a master's worth of education somewhere else for your children. So having them home, it's important stuff. So that's why we're doing what we're doing. We see it as it's the goal, it's the purpose that Christ has given us to share with you and to encourage you to do so. So we are here. We are CHAP. We are the Christian Homeschool Association of Pennsylvania. We are here to support you. We have resources. If you ever have questions, write in on our contact form at chaponline.com or comment on one of our posts or message us on Facebook. We are here for you. We are here to support you. And I encourage you as listeners to this video or this podcast to share this information with those who may not know it. There's so many new homeschoolers out there, and even people who have been homeschooling forever who might not know that we exist. So share this information with them so they can have the support that they need and they can have the resources that they need to homeschool. Because homeschooling is not a piece of cake. It's not a cakewalk. It does take a lot of hard work, and it does take support to continue on year after year. And as I always encourage people to network close, find people local that can support you. But we are here to support you across the state too. So just share the information with others. We want to help as many people as we can to homeschool. And like I said, if you have questions, do not hesitate to send us your questions. We would love to answer them for you. And thank you so much for all of you who support us and who encourage us, who send us very encouraging notes. We appreciate you. We really do. Your encouraging comments are it's really a bolster to us. So we really appreciate all those who support us in that way. So that is it for who CHAP is and what we're about and why we do what we do. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for checking it out. And I just want to remind you to hold your babies close as you teach them to follow Christ in all of life. Thank you again for tuning in, and we'll be checking in with you next week. I will be working the polls, so you will probably be seeing me from the polls next week. So get ready, because Election Day is next Tuesday. Encourage others to get out and vote. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.